What's going on, everybody?
Spirit hands.
What
What are
spirit
fingers?
hands? Sorry, my hands were down, and I promised they were messing with the knobs. Not
Hand
my
check,
knobs.
hand
but these
check,
knobs.
hand check.
Which
hand
knobs?
Hand check.
Hand check. Hey, my Stream Deck knobs. Oh man. Well, it's Thursday. It's 10:30, at least on the Eastern Coast, which means it's podcast night, and which means it's pre-patch time. And before we go anywhere, before we even start this fucking show, I want to make sure to our resident kombucha drinking hippie that we tell him happy birthday. So
He's an absinthe drinking hippie
drinking.
as
Yeah,
of tonight. Yeah.
He may be a little bit loose right now because he's been drinking.
Always feeling loose. Always. That's how hippies roll, bro.
That's how hippies roll. Yeah, well, you should
Is it?
roll something. You roll something, man. Anyway, happy birthday to Scruffy. Belated happy birthday to
Happy
Scruffy.
birthday
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. So,
I'm almost getting as old as you guys are.
okay,
Almost.
yeah.
I
You'll
think we got a few years on you.
You'll
Yeah.
never catch up. I will say though that my wife saw you, Enigma, for the first time, and she was like, "Why can't you have gray hair like him?" Because she absolutely loves gray
What?
hair. Dude, she loves it. She fucking loves it, man. She is like all of
His
it.
hair isn't even gray. It's like blonde.
No, it is
No,
gray on
it's-
the sides.
Oh, yeah.
I've got gray.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Sides maybe.
Oh well, so
kinda.
here it looks gray. It looks. You look like a. This is
Oh,
gonna
no,
come off-
I've-
this is gonna come off a lot worse. You look like a fat Geralt from The Witcher.
No,
It's worse.
it's blonde. It's like a dirty blonde. But yeah,
Oh,
I do
man.
have gray on the
Yeah.
edges.
Yeah.
But
Wow,
yeah.
a fat girl.
Hey man, Geralt's dope,
Thanks,
dude.
brother.
And
I mean,
I'm
I'll
fat.
take it, man. I'll tell you. You could have said, "Hey, you look like Danny DeVito." Like,
Oh my god. No. But no, it's a compliment. I like Geralt, and I'm fat, and I like. I
Oh,
mean, you know,
shit.
hey, it's the dad bod is
I'm
the way
skinny,
to go.
bro.
Yeah. Hey, stop interrupting. We're supposed to stop interrupting.
skinny
people.
hater. Yeah.
Oh, right. No more interrupting.
Each person's got to take their turn. You got to raise your hand whenever you want to talk.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Okay, Enigma. What do you want to say? Oh, Bill, are you
I don't
raising
know,
your
I
hand or are you
just-
yawning? Anyway, welcome in everybody. I hope you had.
Yeah, welcome in everybody. I hope you guys had a great weekend and
I
great time
will
off from
mute
our
each and
podcast.
every one of you.
Why are we
I
like
now
this?
have it on a button. I literally have it on a button. I will hit the button and mute you. I didn't create it for anybody else but Scruffy. I'm just gonna hit the button and mute Scruffy solely.
the
So,
mute scruffy button.
the mute
Honestly,
Scruffy
I'm
button.
honored. I am.
Yeah, yeah. It's got a big A24 slapped on the logo too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, welcome in. I hope everybody's week has been amazing. It's going to be an awesome show as it always is, but we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, some new games to talk about. In fact, I think each and every single one of us has played a new game, which is awesome. That's a kind of a rare feat for the show. There's a bunch of news that just crosses all of the different gaming platforms and sectors and all that kind of stuff. And so it's gonna be a hell of a time. So if this is your first time here, make sure that you check out
Hi.
all of what.
Are you saying if this is your first time here? I said hi.
Oh, he's saying hi.
Don't interrupt him, bro.
Yeah.
I was interrupting you. Yeah.
But if this is your first time here, okay, I paused to see if there's
Hi.
any God almighty.
Why
Make
do
sure
we
you go.
like this?
Man, I don't know. There's just something not right. Oh man. But make sure that you go and check our YouTube channel, Twitch. Obviously, we do these live. You can join our live audience. Or you can go to our Discord, post questions and things there. Actually, some of the topics we're going to be talking about tonight was posted in our Discord, so we're going to be bringing that up. You can go to Spotify, get all of the episodes there. You can get all of our shorts, which Bill and Enigma do a phenomenal job using some programs that we like and we've been using quite often. So super excited about those and news coming on that pipeline later, which other shows we'll talk about that on that one. But yeah, welcome in, and you got 120 other episodes to listen to and catch up. So let's dive
Do your homework.
right. Yeah, do your homework.
Yeah, get on it.
if this is your first show, I kind of feel bad because you're probably like, what is wrong with these demented sons of bitches?
Which those are coming up. We're still a little bit behind. I've got them all uploaded. I just need to enter in all the data, so they should be up roughly within the next few days. So
after 120 episodes, I feel like it's okay that we're kind of losing it. We're going a little crazy, you know. We've been around each other a bit too much.
We probably should have like ended it and started a new season, but now fuck it. We're going all season 121 episodes. Let's do it.
I'm actually kind of shocked. You guys have... Okay, no, we can't. God damn it, we can't stop interrupting people and then just not talk. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we're gonna be the Naruto of podcasts here pretty quickly.
All right,
gotta be the One Piece, bro.
I'm about to say,
the One Piece. That's what I meant.
I'm surprised that you guys have put up with me this long because my wife has a legal binding contract that she has to put up with me. And then has to, go through that. You guys don't. You guys could just walk out at any given time. So,
voluntarily.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, we're just like Bill. We're self masochists when it comes to these kind of things.
It's an advanced case of Stockholm syndrome.
I'm your soul slave. Is that what you're comparing me to? I'm your fucking soul slave. What the fuck does that mean?
You are difficult to deal with on a daily basis.
Damn it, man! I would have rather been Fat Gerald than been the fucking pre-patch soul slave. That's bullshit.
As the resident hippie, I take it to the soul.
Jesus Christ! All right, well let's get into some of the games that we've been playing this week. We're gonna kick things off with Enigma, and he has been playing Manor Lords. Now the footage that you're gonna be seeing is from game trailers. It is the official gameplay overview trailer. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get footage up due to YouTube being wonky with their processing and stuff like that. But Manor Lord, what is?
I don't know what the hell is going on, but Manor Lords. We've talked about it a couple different times on the podcast. Banner Lords, right? This is different from Banner Lords. This is Manor Lords. It's a RTS city building. It kind of incorporates like Warhammer or I'm sorry, not Warhammer, Total War aspects into like a city builder, like a medieval city builder, like Banished almost. And if you guys have played those, obviously you'll know about that. But it's just a really interesting take on the city building franchise in general, because we've not really had something like this. We've obviously had like Total War-esque games, and they do have like city management, but this is like city skylines for medieval times. Like you're building up your entire city, you're building up your army, you're building up everything like that. You're doing trade routes, you're doing everything. So agriculture, everything like that. So it's it kind of blends both of those in. The current rendition of it's in early access, so it's kind of, there's some things that are missing from it, there's some things that are added to it, there's some things that we're still waiting on, but the current rendition that we have, I think, is actually a really impressive take on what we have already. Like the city building, it's really good. Like it's competent. It's right up there with, in my opinion, with Cities Skylines. Obviously not two. Cities Skylines 2 is horrible. Don't play that game, please. until they fix it. But this has those aspects to it where it's very customizable with your actual city. You are able to lay down roads. You're able to like customize where you want things, even down to the routes of like when you're building like livable buildings like they're showing right now, right? You can actually like size those up, and like the bigger they are, the more things that you can do inside of that little living area. So there's certain influences and things that you can do inside of those specific aspects. Inside of the living areas, you can actually have your citizens like do things for you. So like you can make them produce carrots, or you can make them produce like goats, chickens, everything like that. And then once you level that specific building up, you can also make them produce things like bows and arrows or crossbows, everything like that. And every bit of that goes towards your city's like fame or your city's prominence, right? I think they call it influence. And you're basically doing that to go to war in this large scale map with another baron and with bandits. And that's how you gain influences, by winning battles against bandits, and that influence can then be used to basically claim more land. So it's, from what I've seen right now and from what I've played, I've put about 3 hours into it so far, 3 or 4 roughly. it's great, man. It's everything that I wanted from it. I've been looking forward to this game for a while. I do think that I'm really hoping that they do. Yeah, go ahead, Scruffy.
Put your goddamn hand down.
I've been waiting patiently. Is this just medieval, or is it fantasy at all? Is there like any sort of?
No, this is just medieval. Yeah, no, this is just a straight medieval city builder. So there's no elves, there's no dwarfs or anything like that. So. Yeah,
thank you.
But it's a competent one. If you like city builders, you're gonna like this. If you like Total War or those types of games, I think you'll really enjoy it. I've been enjoying it a lot from everything that I've played, and I'm looking forward to when they add in some of those late game stuff as well. Because like right now, you get to a certain point, and it's just like you kind of hit a stop point for growth on your city. So,
right. Do you have like a unlockable like other civilizations, or is it just this one kind of civilization and you?
Yep, it's just your town. There's no progression in civilization or anything like that. It's not that kind of a game. It's essentially you're a medieval town, you're a medieval lord. That's what you are. You're progressing your city up to a point that you can take on this bigger threat, which is this illegitimate person. Threat? Right now, yeah. As far as I can tell, the only threats that you have on the map right now is just the illegitimate manor lord or whatever you want to call it, the illegitimate lord that's taken over. Essentially, the lord he has the map and he's made illegitimate claims of the entire map. So that's your entire reason for being there, is to go back, claim those illegitimately claimed regions of the map for yourself, and then take him on. But inside of that map as well, there's also bandits, and bandit camps will pop up. They'll steal shit from your city. So you'll have to go and like take care of that, or else they'll continuously steal shit from your city. And those right now, as far as I can tell, are the only threats that they have in the game currently.
What are the fights and stuff like? Are they similar to Total War, where it's like a real time fight thing where you can like flank with troops?
Totally.
Like,
yep.
Okay.
Total War-esque. You have like your specific like regimes or regiments or whatever you want to call it. You've got like your spearmen, you've got your archers, you've got your regular knights, you've got your cavalry, everything like that. So like you can build huge armies as long as you have the city for it, and the stocks for it and the influence for it. You can build huge armies and just take them to war. I personally haven't seen anything larger than like a few hundred at least. My current one is made up of basically militia. It's just my townspeople with like spears and pitchforks currently and shitty bows.
They showed one image where like it looked like the farms people came out with these pitchforks, and then the next shot was like this armored up, just complete like in full blown steel. I'm like, they're gonna get murdered.
That's the influence. So the further you get inside of the progression of the game, the better equipment you can get. So you originally from like the start, you're gonna start out with villagers that are just basically going out there with the basics. So spears, pitchforks, very shoddily made bows.
That guy is just manhandling a deer.
He's just walking down the street.
I guess so, man. One arm over the shoulder.
but later on, you'll get like halberds, you'll get full plates, you'll get like infantrymen, you'll get people that are riding horses with like jousting and all that shit. From what I can understand. I don't know if they're going to add in like catapults. I think that would be a really interesting one, is like castle sieges. I haven't personally seen anything like that, but I'm hoping that they have that, because that's going to be a huge, like that would be a huge center, is like if you finally get to that last illegitimate manor lord and you're sieging his castle, to have like 400 or 500 people or even a couple thousand that are just like converging on one location and just taking it over. That would be epic.
And
what I will say too is this is obviously what we're watching is pre-alpha footage. We're further into what this is, right?
Slightly, not slightly. Really. The current release, again, like I said, there's not a lot to like. There's a surprising amount to it for early access and for it being in basically the first alpha or whatever you want to call it. But there's not like there's a stopping point at which you can't go past. There's certain things that aren't in the game right now, certain buildings certain aspects to the map that aren't in the game right now. It's a very basic version of what we're going to get. So I'm sure that there's going to be more things that they add in later on in the future.
Just like what I'm noticing, and like it's probably due to being pre-alpha and early on, but the close-ups of like the NPCs, it's very, very heavily NPC animation.
I mean, it's going to be. They're not gonna make huge.
Yes, but just seeing the close-ups, they're all like the same animations, walking, marching. I'm like, this looks.
Well, you got to remember
so
that
amateur, you know.
It's not amateur. You got to remember that you're up here, right? Like you're all the way up here. The only time that you're ever going to see those animations clearly is if you zoom all the way in, or if they do have a first person mode where you can like go in as like your lord or whatever that is, and you can walk around and you have like your own avatar.
I would give that, to being pre-alpha, but like I'm just saying, like if it's at least full release, I'd like to see some variant of like animation. You
might.
If I were to play this
it's
kind
not
of
a
game,
huge.
I'm going to like watch the battles. That's like I don't play RTSs, but like if I were to, I would be like zooming into battles, like watching the conflict going on and everything. And if I just see like some generic animations going on, I wouldn't be too immersed into like this like god power. I'd be like, these are just like basic NPCs just going at it.
Then I would say I don't know like. If this, because I have watched quite a bit of the game being played, I don't know if this is the game that you would like.
This would not be the game.
I would say go to like Total War, Total War. Total War Warhammer looks gorgeous.
Even Total War, in some cases, the animations do not look that great, especially when you zoom real far in close to it. So you just got to remember that like these games are not meant to be like in the action, right? They're meant you're up here.
Just the gameplay and overall.
I actually think it looks beautiful.
Looks.
To be 100%,
I think personally, I think it looks fine. I think
it's great. To me, it's just the animations. Then I mean, like everything else looks fine to me.
I mean, again, I'm looking at it from the like you're talking about, Enigma, where you're all the way up and top down and looking at it and whatever. Like, I'm not going to zoom in on this dude with a horse and a carriage. Like, if you want to, sure, but like, and I get like zooming in on the cities and like whatever, but I don't know. I mean. But
I think that's just, as like a developer, I feel like that's just something you have to take into consideration. I know it's not the total draw of this game, but like there are a lot of people who do appreciate the fine details, whether it be very minuscule and small. I feel like you should at least put something into it,
I don't know. Well, again, we're talking about a pre-alpha small team, and I think that this is...
that's what I'm saying. Like this is just pre-alpha, what I'm seeing here visually. So they very well could.
But I also
future,
don't
like release, do something with it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is to be completely honest, like to me, putting that big of an amount of work into making sure that like NPCs that you're only going to look at like maybe 5% of the time is not worth it. Like again, these games are not meant to be in the conflict. These games are not meant to be first person mode, right? They're meant to be up here essentially as like looking down from the bottom or from the top up. That they're not meant to have that amount of detail. The animations look good from up here.
From not being an RTS player, really.
That's just most RTSs, and that's just how it's gonna be. Like, and again, Total War does a really good job with it, but they're not also juggling city building aspects, trade aspects, everything like that. They're literally just doing warfare.
How do we know that Lord Reginald back then didn't move like that? We weren't alive back then. That's how they moved. That's how they looked. They only had 3 animations back then.
Yeah, John is back then. John is back then. Couldn't move well enough.
That was it.
Even the horses knew.
Yeah, they knew. They were just like, listen, man, we can't afford. We don't have the technology for more animations right now. So.
But so that's the biggest thing. Is it's just it's a very in-depth city builder with war, Total War mechanics, and that's I think it's been asked for a long time, and I think they did a really good job with it. I'm looking forward to seeing what other kinds of modes they have, because currently they just have the mode that basically you go up against the other lord, and then they have like an endless mode that you just kind of you build your city up as much as you can, as much as the map will allow it. No multiplayer as of right now. I don't think there is any. I don't think there's any. What's it called for it either? Plans for it either.
So plans for multiplayer. Okay.
I bet there would be a mod that would come out that would do it, because I think that'd be kind of cool.
Maybe it would be cool. I do think that like having like a StarCraft-esque multiplayer where you're going up against each other would be a cool thing to have. But like I would argue I would rather they focus in on the single player,
of course,
get that really good, and then if they want to add in multiplayer later, because
it would be hard to do multiplayer in something like this too, because at least with like Total War and stuff like that, it's turn based, so you have like everybody's got their end turn and whatnot. This seems to be a lot more live.
This is all live. Yep, the combat is all live.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
no, even the combat when you're in combat, it's all live. So you only have the ability to pause the time from moving. That's the only
what I think would be cool, and again, I know I am one of the minorities when I say this, but like,
you want PvP?
No. What I would say is like SimCity, like when they were trying to do their online persistent world, reboot or whatever else, like the idea behind it, cool concept, and I think that this would be a cool concept. Again, like they showed that map where there was a bunch of different regions of like, hey, like if this was a real time kind of persistent thing where Enigma has his area that he's kind of building up and dealing with, and like I've chosen to go over here and build out. And now I'm like whatever, and then maybe Scruffy and I align and we take out. We're encroaching on Enigma's land, but like Bill's over here, doing it. I think it'd be a cool concept that they could definitely play around with.
No, it would. I agree. Yeah,
but I also agree too. Like get your foundation laid and get that all done so it's smooth and perfect, and then maybe a modder will add it in or something.
That should be something that they worry about down the road for sure, because it's one of those things where like this kind of genre, they're not playing it for the multiplayer, especially the people that are like hardcore into like city builders and stuff like that. They're not playing it for the multiplayer. They're playing it for the single player. So. And cool. I think so far, again, like I said, they've done a really good job. I'm looking forward to when they more content comes out for it, because I've been playing it. I've been playing as much as I can between playing fucking Fallout 76. I'm playing way too much of that right now.
Me too, man.
It is on sale right now for $29.99. Retails for $40.
Great price.
So go pick it up. It's by Slavic Magic. Is the
there you go.
Is the developer for it. So cool. Well, that is Manor Lords. Let's go over and we're gonna move over to Bill. And Bill's been playing booby bounce. No, butt lifts. No, damn. What? Stellar fucking blade. That's it. Stellar blade.
Stellar butts.
Stellar boobs.
Stellar blade. I joke. I kid. I've actually I'm very excited for when this eventually does hopefully come to PC. But I think it was good. Stellar blade.
It is exceptional. It's honestly a lot better than I expected it to be. We talked about this a little bit on the podcast a few shows ago with the demo, and from the demo I already had like pretty decent expectations of the game, but not to the point the full game has kind of given. I was expecting it to be a lot more linear than what it was or what it is. The demo made it seem like, okay, you're gonna have these like zones that you're going through. There's going to be some like standard side paths where you branch off and find something or other. This game has surprised me in a few different ways in my 20-ish hours with it so far. One of which being what we're seeing on screen if you're watching live, where there's actually like open world segments to it. Not like totally open world, it's more open zone, but these are massive open zones. I spend a pretty well 6-7 hour stream entirely exploring one of these zones.
Is it like that one Final Fantasy with the car?
Kind of
have like an open world concept to that one.
Yeah, it's similar to that. But ton of stuff, a lot of side quests as well. I wasn't expecting there to be like anything like that. And side quests that, while they might not be the most exciting reward wise, some of them are pretty exciting, like you'll get new costumes or like upgrades and stuff for your character. A lot of them are just like mats and stuff that you're going to use to upgrade and buy things and stuff like that.
Sparkle.
But lore wise, every single side quest that I've went through so far has had a pretty decent story arc to it and something that's impactful to the game. And some like boss fights that were pretty surprising tied into them. Usually you don't see that kind of stuff tied into the side quests and whatnot, but
I'm so glad they added yellow paint to those ledges. Just gotta say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you like honestly, if this
Really
game
do.
didn't have so many other controversies, they would have picked on the yellow paint. So
Yeah.
Probably more than likely.
I'll pick on it. I want to know who is the person in the game, right? Not
Right.
the developer. Who is the person in the game that was like, "Hey, man,
In the middle of the desert.
we need to paint these yellow. Why? I don't know. I feel like they need to stand out a little bit. Like it doesn't lore wise, it makes no fucking sense that there is yellow paint on these ledges. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's entirely just gamer
Oh, of course.
gamer stuff on that
What was
aspect.
what was the other one that had yellow paint? Was that the remake for Resident Evil that people were complaining about
Yeah.
the yellow
Resident
paint?
Evil had yellow paint.
that was
Final
where
Fantasy
it
VII
was brought
Rebirth
up a
also
lot
has
again.
level. Yeah, it has yellow paint on its cliffs and stuff. So, which with this game, I'm honestly happy that it does because there's so many like even with the yellow paint and stuff, a lot of the routes of moving are pretty secluded. Like you have a scan feature with the drone and it will highlight like the climbing parts and stuff. But even still, man, it's more obscure than I expected, and the amount of exploration that this game has thrown in there has genuinely surprised me. Especially considering this, what we're watching on the screen is about 15 hours into me playing, and I just unlocked the double jump feature. So it kind of has
15
like a
hours.
Metroid.
You just unlocked double jump. Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah. So it kind of has a Metroidvania esque approach to the open world as well, where you explore things, you realize there's stuff that you can't get to yet, and you don't know exactly why. I called that we were going to get a double jump 10 hours ago, and it took me another 10 hours to get it. But now I actually went back and got all the stuff that I missed that needed the double jump to get to. So if you like backtracking in that aspect, there's some decent stuff to do there, and it's not exactly like you're just going back to backtrack for that stuff. A lot of the side quests will take you backtracking into those zones.
Now,
So
is that 10 hours because you were side questing and doing it, or is that like 10 hours of straight just trying to grind
side
this?
questing and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
So maybe a little bit. I mean, if you were to,
yeah, if you push straight story, you'd probably get to where I'm at in probably the 5 to 7 hour mark.
okay.
But that just goes to show how much content there is in the exploration factor and the side quest factor.
So I do have some questions. I do have some questions about it. I mean, we continue to explain it because I want to bring up some of the controversy, and not about the movement and all that stuff. It's about some other stuff that I want to talk about. Go ahead and finish your finish. Finish your
so with this, it's Souls-like, obviously. The difficulty has been there. It's not necessarily as hard as what I would say Liza P was. So if you got like intimidated by Liza P's difficulty, which is still, in my opinion, one of the harder Souls-likes to pick up and enjoy, this is not going to be to that scale, at least not yet. But it has a lot of unique things that I think are benefiting this genre. Specifically like with the ranged mechanics that they threw in. There's a bunch of different ammo types that you can use with your drone gun arm thing. And it actually surprised me that they put you into a dungeon with the story. This is not like any plot spoiler, it's just kind of a dungeon explanation. So if you don't want any clued in there, just kind of tune out. But they did a dungeon where it disables your sword, it disables your scanner, and it entirely forces you to use that blaster. And it almost did it in like a horror game style way, like a genre shift in the middle of the game just for that mission. And it felt like Dead Space or Resident Evil in that aspect. So
like
that,
almost like a first person mode, or does it like stick you inside of that, or
it was still third person shooter, so you're still shooting like you are right now, but it was the only option you had, and it kind of threw some weak spots on enemies, which I'm sure are going to be a mechanic later. Big glowing spots, like you shoot somebody in the head a few times and then a glowing orb pops up on the side of their head where you like knock something off, and you continue to pound into that and it does increase damage. So It was very Dead
Okay.
Space, extremely Dead Space.
Yeah, I was about to say
And
it does remind me of Dead Space, especially when you're going into that or like that first person mode where you're in your pistol or whatever she's using.
yeah,
It reminds me very heavily of that.
it was a great change of pace, and it honestly like re-engaged me. Like I was like, oh shit, this is dope. After doing like 7 hours of open world stuff, it was a breath of fresh air. So I'm excited to see if more stuff like that pops up throughout my run of the game. But yeah, it's been a blast so far, and has honestly been probably one of my favorite games so far this year.
Game of the year?
I'm just maybe not game of the year. I think it's too niche for that.
Yeah.
But I will say for like open world RPG stuff, it's really good, and I didn't
No.
expect that from this game. It puts Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's like open world exploration to shame in a way, and that's wild to say considering the size difference between Square Enix and this team.
I love just for a moment that, and again, if you're listening to this after the fact to the VOD, I love that in our chat right now they are literally dialoguing this history of somebody painting these fucking yellow lines, just talking about how, like, it'd be cool, and then like someone's like, yeah, my father fell off a cliff, so now I have to paint them yellow so no one else will suffer. Like, it's just like this whole history of this dude or person that is painting fucking yellow lines on.
We have made the lore for why they paint those cliffs yellow.
So I do have some questions kind of regarding because you played Nier, right? So you've played Nier, and this was, the dev team and the developer obviously has talked about Nier and has talked very much about the love for Nier, and a lot of the I mean, I say controversy earlier. I don't know if it's really such a controversy as more as this criticism that this is too much on the nose of being like Nier, right? Like, you literally, like, it takes place in the desert. The biome is like very, very close to Nier Automata. You've got your robot, which is very close to Nier Automata. You have the caricature, which the main character. Again, some of even just like
got some assets.
Yeah, some of like the dialogue choices, the story beats, all very Nier-esque, to a point that it's kind of being like, hey, did you really just make Nier, but make it on your own? As someone that has played Nier, what are your thoughts on that?
It's very Nier. Very
Very Nier.
It's obvious the inspiration is on its sleeve. With that comparison.
So,
but I don't think it hinders the game. I don't think it's to the point where it feels like it doesn't feel lazy. It doesn't feel like a side version. It doesn't feel like a
doesn't feel like you're playing a conversion
like we have
something.
Nier at home.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Right.
So my
it does
question,
enough things unique to differentiate itself, even if at this point the plot points are fairly on the nose.
Okay. Yeah, my question was just, sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, y'all
are poking the fucking bear real hard right now.
Stop interrupting my question. God damn it.
I'll raise
my question is, like, just how close of a comparison would it be to like Nier Automata? Because like we were talking about and I can't remember the name of it now, but it was very Hades-esque like 2-3 weeks back. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
It was we were talking about that, and you guys were saying that like it was like a near, no pun intended, a near exact replica, right? Is this that close, or is this does it have enough to set it aside?
No, the only thing that's close to Nier in this game is its plot points in its world setup.
Okay.
The environments, the environments are fairly similar, and as far as the plot goes right now, it's definitely inspired. It's different enough. It's not a 1-for-1 take on the plot of Nier Automata or anything like that, but it definitely heavily inspired. As far as everything else goes, 100% unique. Does not play or do anything similar to how Nier Automata did in that regard, unless you consider swinging a sword around similar.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, it's something that I've seen a lot of mainstream review sites and things like that talk about. Obviously, you know, again, they're
Yeah.
some of that is clickbaity, right? But you can definitely still see, like, when you look at it,
You
right?
can see it
You
for
can
sure.
you can absolutely see, and again, the dev has and the development team has come out and said, like, hey, like, we, you know, yeah, look, Nier Automata was a fucking great game. We love Nier Automata.
Yeah.
Like, we are gonna make, you know, we want to make
Hell, and it
something-
even I think the thing that like Yoko Taro, the dude who made Nier, has given it his stamp of approval. He has enjoyed it. He says that it's better than Nier in a lot of ways. So he doesn't.
Huge praises. Yeah.
He seems to be taking it in the flattery type route than being pissed about it.
Which I think is a really good way of doing things. Like honestly, when it comes down to things, they're all making video games, right? Like, yeah, if it's just a blatant copy, obviously that's one thing. But if it's just a huge inspiration, like they took a lot of inspiration from it, like, so celebrate it. You know,
yeah,
we're all getting games. We're all getting good games in the end. Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
That's just my opinion of it, at least.
And
like, it's
Nier
not like
wasn't
they're
the first
stealing
one to do
sales or
like
anything. Like,
what was that?
I'm saying it's not like they're stealing sales or anything from the other games. So like,
No,
exactly like you said, like celebrate it, like embrace it. Like it's cool that we're all getting something that, you know, is unique for, you know, our likings.
Well, not only that, but it's one of those things where it's like, I'm willing to bet, and obviously I don't have the numbers for it, right? But I'm willing to bet that people that are going to play this game that have played Nier before are probably going to play this game and then be like, you know what, I should go back and play Nier.
Yeah.
Again,
oh yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah,
or
sure.
people that have been sleeping on Nier might give it a chance due to the comparison point.
Yep.
Yeah, this could be like baby's first Nier, you know, like maybe it's not that, but I'm just saying like this could open their eyes, be like, you know what, maybe I would like Nier now playing this, you know.
Depending on the suits that you're putting on, maybe you should be an 18-year-old first Nier. Just saying.
Yeah, for real, right?
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, Stellar Blade, it's out right now only on PS5, correct? It's not anywhere else.
Yeah. PC eventually, maybe. Nothing's confirmed, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sony brings it to PlayStation or
have you gotten the Stellar Blade yet? Like, have they given you here? I have bestowed you the Stellar Blade.
No, but during that segment where your sword is disabled and stuff, you never know what the name of your weapon is until that moment, because you try to bring it out and it's like your sword's called like the Blood Edge or something, like super edgy. It's nice. The most out of pocket thing. It's like Blood Edge cannot be used at this time, and I'm like, whoa! I did not realize that we were going full anime with this. Okay,
what'd you think it was gonna be like? Purple butterflies was not usable right now.
Honestly,
the Bubble Buster,
or something like angelic themed, since it's like Adam and Eve, like stuff like that. Like, and everybody's calling her Angel and stuff like Angel's Wings, something like that. Not Blood Edge.
But
yeah.
God's tongue. Anyway, all right. Well, there's a Stellar Blade. What? 70 full 70.
Yeah, full 70.
Full $70.
70.
Cool. All right. There you go. Go ahead. Get it one last time. Get it out of your system. I don't know. You got some perverted joke up your sleeve.
That's all I was gonna say. I was gonna say not cool for $70. That's it.
It's almost near 80, if you might say.
Oh man, go ahead, come on, let's get them all out now. I don't want to fucking deal with this shit later on.
Oh god.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, all right. Well, so we're gonna move on to what I've been playing, and then the other game myself and Scruffy have been playing. But first and foremost, been playing an older game. Actually, god damn it, Twitch, get out of here with this shit.
Surprise! Sin has multiple games, even on a show like this.
So okay, this started because
Are you actually playing this, or is it just to fill a void? That's my question.
No, I mean, so I'm actually really enjoying it. So let's just kind of giving some backstory to it, right? So, you know, went back in, got kind of burnt on Siege.
What are you playing, by the way?
Hunt
Just
Showdown.
There we go.
Hunt Showdown. But got burnt playing Siege on my own accord. Nothing against the game. It's just my own issues. Tried going into Overwatch, played that for a little bit. The toxicity, the fucking just the way Overwatch is, I couldn't stick with it. You know, went to I was like,
it's bad when the Blizzard shell doesn't want to stick with it.
Like I literally was just like, cool. So then I tried Halo. It wasn't like, nothing was like sticking. And
was Halo a good time? Like small side tangent, because I've heard that the game's actually like
good.
pretty decent
There's
these
nothing,
days.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Halo.
I always hear like big praise like when it gets to updates, but then it like dwindles very fast. I feel like.
Yeah, you never hear
not...
people that are like playing it constantly. At least that I've seen.
It's never gonna be. Is it gonna be the Fortnite or the Call of Duty? No. Right, maybe when the new one comes out, if it does everything perfect, right? I think Halo Infinite had its own controversies that just really stunted that game. And the multiplayer again was not good. But I would equate it to something like this, like Hunt, right? Like Showdown, like it's good, right? Halo had fun with it. It's a blast to play. There's
got its niche community.
Yeah,
now.
It's got a community, and there's nothing wrong with it.
It's always had a niche community.
Yeah,
like I recommend it highly. But so anyway, so all of that I was hunting, no pun intended, for something that I could just fill by the shooter like need. Like I just needed to find something that I could play, and so I was searching online, and Hunt Showdown kept coming up, and it kept coming up. Now I had played Hunt Showdown way early on, like early state. Hold on, about to sneeze.
You played it when it first came out. I feel like when it first released.
Where's the third one?
Nope, I just got two.
Two? Okay.
Yeah, so when it first came out, so when this first came out, early alpha, early access, it had just dropped back in like 2018. I had played it, and it was pretty bare bones. Like I'm not going to sit here and say that like the game had a lot going for it back then. Like it was still pretty rough, and was kind of dull. Now they have added a lot of stuff. So I was like, I keep seeing it. I'm going to go back and give it a try. So I jumped back in, and man, dude, like, yeah, there's something about it. Like it hasn't changed a whole lot as far as like what you do in this game. It is a extraction with quotations, because you have to go in and you basically are hunting down these bounties, and there are these monsters, right? You're in a Western world, or Western times, so you're using
more Brothers Grimm style.
You're using very old school. Like you're not rolling around with an MP5 or any kind of futuristic gun. Like you're using like Winchesters and 6-shooters, and again a genre that we don't see a lot of. You're going in and you basically have to go and find these clues to unlock this boss on the map that kind of keeps the location. You kind of have an idea, but it keeps moving. And then you go in, you kill them, you get a bounty, and then you get out. And that's it. Like that's the extraction part of it. You are playing with 12 other people on the map, so it's not a whole lot of people. And the loot in the game is, you're not getting any experience or any points really for like killing zombies or killing any of the things that you're seeing on the screen. The point of that is really because of the sound design. Like you don't want to alert other players, because the sound in this game is one of the most amazing soundscapes I've ever heard in a game. Like Crytek did a phenomenal job with the sound. It just, man, like you can pinpoint where people are at really well.
They go down to like the birds like chirping off in the distance, like rustling bird patches,
like little like bushes cracking a twig, like you can hear it. It really is a lot of fun, and it's really strategic, and like you have to kind of make these decisions and choices, and like the gunplay, because you're not, you don't have all of these crazy scopes and all this other kind of stuff. Like it's very tactical. It feels impactful. They do have some cool like other things, like they have like these blood mosquito like things that almost act like a drone, where you can fly them out, and then like they'll glow red if someone's around, and then you can explode them. And like they have some fantasy element stuff to it. But like the game just, it feels good. It plays good. It's either a team of 2 or a team of 3. And they've added a progression system that's really nice with like obviously they have a battle pass. But what stands this game out, right, is the fact that you're in most extraction games, it's all about like your loot or and getting out with the gear, right? That doesn't really matter here, because you can buy pretty much like you continue to level your person up and level your account up to where you can pretty much buy whatever you want, right? When you get out with in-game currency, and like you get like, I started with like $15,000 worth of in-game currency, and a gun is like $100. So you have plenty of, and you earn currency pretty quickly. The thing about this is the character. Your character is what is you're interacting with, because your character,
that's what I remember when it first released. Was
Yeah.
it was all about the kid, because I seem to remember there was a controversy when it first started that you could buy characters or something along those lines.
Yeah, so
You
you
I don't know if that's still a
so
thing.
you still can, but before the characters had traits attached to the things
Yeah.
that you would buy. This one, you when you buy the DLC or you buy characters, they will have a randomized trait that any of the other ones can still have. It doesn't matter. It's not like you're purchasing a win and or purchasing a better perk or anything.
Is that randomized on every character,
Every
like whenever
character.
you use it,
Every
or
character.
is it just like so you continuously have to buy another character to get a better, or is it just randomized
like
whenever you drop?
let's say you buy the DLC, like you buy the $10 DLC, or essentially what you're buying is the skin, right? Like you're buying the skin that you like, and then the traits. It doesn't matter whether you buy that DLC or not; those traits are in every
Are in the pool,
right? And you get to choose from your hunters, right? You have a bloodline that you can choose, and you get one free every round, or so, or something like that. Like you pretty much can continue. Like you can go in, die, get another guy, right, for free. Don't ever spend any money on any in-game currency, or you can purchase other ones.
But
yeah, I mean, all
the free hunters are pretty bare bones. They've actually
done a better job. Like really, like some of the other ones, like they don't get some of the little bit, maybe I don't want to even say better perks. Like it's more about the loadouts. Like you don't really get like your free guy may come with like
that's more what I meant.
Yeah,
the loadout's going to be subpar. It can still get any of the traits that you would want. Though.
That's the only problem that I would have with it. Yeah.
Or like
do what?
I'm saying, like, are they balanced at all, these traits that you get randomly, or
I mean, you're gonna have
like,
some.
Could you load into a game with like a really shit trait and like you get rocked by some guy who got like the god roll, pretty much? Like, is there RNG to it?
There's an RNG to what traits you get, but like your traits aren't like these super crazy, overpowered, ridiculous things. Like, I was playing with a guy that was level like 57. His character was like level 57, and I felt bad because the last game we played, he ended up dying. It's pretty high. Like it's not insanely high, but it's
like
high enough, right?
To know like you're a pretty fair player now.
He's got enough. Like he's got at least all 12 perks, because you can have 12 total perks, I think, or 15 total perks on your character. And so his guy's been through. So like, and again, he could choose to go in with that guy or choose not to go in with that guy, but he chose to go in. And again, he got popped by a dude that had like 2 perks, and his perks aren't like gonna do anything kind of crazy. And the other cool thing is that like what you're seeing on screen now is you can actually get into an area where there may be a random perk just in one of these boxes that you can pledge yourself to, and then you get that perk. And then if you it's called devoting yourself to a pact. So they have different pacts that you can devote yourself to, and based on that pack, when you come back in the next time, like you can upgrade that pack again if you survive, and now it gets another different kind of perk that you can unlock. And certain perks you have to have the pack to get those perks on your character. It's a lot of like really cool build variety, and just it's a lot of fun. Like, I've not felt like there was a situation where I was like, oh, I'm getting fucked over because this person, like in COD, where they buy these packs that have like the Uber guns and whatever else, and they're overpowered versus what I'm playing.
That was the only thing that I was worried about, was like, if you're buying these characters, do they come with like pre-designed, like, and almost overpowered, at least,
Nope.
What's it called? It's like passives and traits and equipment and everything like that.
Nope.
So
nope. They are called legendary characters, but it's just the skin. You can, you have to, so when you get into or go to recruit, right? Cause you can have 5 total people on your squad or on your bloodline or bounty hunters. There's an option to keep going. There's an option to, recruit your legendary character, but all that does is just purchases the skin. So like you're just purchased like it's like another person in your recruitment, but it doesn't, again, there's no benefit other than it looks really fucking cool. Like that's about
it.
They got some pushback because some of the characters, like the maps again, are very like diverse, weather, fog, it'll be raining like half the match, and all of a sudden it'll clear up and then it'll start raining again, which causes you not to be able to hear. But like they had like feedback and pushback because they were like, hey, one of these characters blends in really, really well, right? And so they tweaked it. They were like, nope, we're going to tweak that. We're not going to have anything, obviously there's certain there are certain skins, like one I really like, the dude's got like a huge black coat on or whatever else. Like that guy's going to stand out, because he's in a black coat. But ultimately, again, it's I don't know, man. It's a Crytek has done a phenomenal game. This is a sleeper game. Like I really recommend, like if you do like BRs or you are looking for something kind of new, the community is fucking great. I've joined all the games I joined. Everybody was super nice. They were not toxic pieces of shit. It was really good. Like it was just really fun.
It's good.
I
It's good. It's good to see that they've turned it around at least, because I remember it did not release very well.
Yeah, I've tried to get into this one a few times. I also bought it whenever it released, and I've tried it probably about a couple times every year since. I still have issues getting into it, more so for the fact that I feel like I'm constantly getting rocked by players that have been committed to the game for so long. So they have hunters that have weapons and stuff that are above what I have with like a single shot revolver and a Winchester and whatnot. And they've got like the belted guns and like the more long range weaponry. And this is a game where one shot headshot is a thing as well. So technically every gun can perform the exact same way. That's their way of kind of balancing out the weaponry. But that's the only thing that prevents me, is because the entry for the game is a little bit high, especially depending on how the lobby is with players that have built up characters.
Do they have matchmaking, skill-based matchmaking?
Yes,
or is
they have an
whatever
MMR system that's actually really good. Your first couple matches, I will say the game kind of fucks you, because like you're playing in your first couple of lobby matches, and like I was just destroying white people, and it wasn't bots, like it was real people, but it's just kind of like you could tell that it was just like, hey, we're gonna throw you in here with just like the worst of the worst,
the dregs of the dregs,
right? Yeah. And if you're competent at all at either shooters or being stealthy or anything like that, like you can just, I demolished. Like I came through and just like was wrecking people left and right. And then I got into my MMR matches and it was like, oh, like you did super well. Fuck, here you go. And I'm playing against people that are like level 109, like level 100 prestige 9 times. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and again, it's not because they have better guns or anything like that, or what. It's just that they know the game. Like they know like the trajectory. They know like.
I feel like saying that they don't have better guns is a little bit.
Well, because it's the only thing that prevents them from having or changes them about having better guns is the fact that you can't purchase them out of the gate, but you still get like I like your characters that are rolled, like your hunters, they will have guns that are like 15 levels above where you are that you can't get. And as long as you have that, like you can modify the ammo, you can modify all of those things as long as you have one of them in your inventory and you are there. So that's why I'm saying like there are obviously better guns, but I've also done my homework there, because I was like, is this pay to win? Is this really like a game that you are at a disadvantage? And everything I have found was like, yo, like this game, like it all comes like the guns have bullet drop trajectory. You have like different sights. You have to like, there are people that are like, oh, the Winchester is the fucking better gun. And then other people are like, no, like I like the Ithaca or whatever else. And then there's other ones that are like, no, like I like this. Like, I don't know, man. I don't feel like the gun variety is too crazy in this. That's just me.
Yeah, I'll disagree with you on that one. And it's definitely not pay to win. I'm not trying to paint it in that light. I do think that it is definitely a new player disadvantage going into these matches based on loadouts. That's the only thing I'm saying. I've had trouble getting into it due to that factor and the fact that I didn't stick with it. And every time I go in, it does feel like I'm at a disadvantage weaponry wise. So
I feel like it's almost like a case of For Honor. And when you guys started playing this, I kind of brought that up as well. As like For Honor is really once you hit that skill cap, or once you hit that skill based matchmaking system, you go from being like, oh, I'm a beast of this game, to like getting your butthole wrecked in.
Yeah. One other thing, Bill, I would say you might want to try if you do go back to it, is they also released a solo mode that's called Soul Survivor, and that is I don't want to call it a BR, but it's kind of like a BR where you don't know, everybody loads in with nothing. You got to find your perks, you find your guns, you loot everything, right? And the object is to be the sole survivor. And then the cool thing is that whatever you find there, you can bring into your hunt games, like your regular bounty hunt lobby games too. So
Gotcha.
you know, they've done a good job of really listening to their community. There's a new map that's coming out that we're supposed to be getting they're going to be doing a whole graphical overhaul. I think they're going to go to Unreal Engine 5. Maybe, I don't know, or they're proprietary, but they're doing some engine overhaul with it. So I don't know. Hunt Showdown, man. I've enjoyed. I will say the one knock against it, their fucking DLC packs are expensive as shit. They're $10 like for every single character. Some of them are $15, and you're literally, like I said, you're paying for a skin. Like that's all you're paying for. It's a little hefty on that one. But yeah. Well, cool. Well, that was Hunt Showdown. I don't know the price of it. I want to say it's like I think it's $21 right now on Steam. You can get it for $21. Okay, let's talk about the game that I am fucking jazzed about.
$40.
Well, okay, well, yeah, but so there's a starter bundle though that you can get for 20. Well, at least it was. Again, it may have changed. It was $21.
It's on sale for $21 right now.
Yeah, so that's a little it's a little fuckery because like it'll say like the main game is 40, but then you can buy the starter pack and
edition,
the game.
$319 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's got all the
Holy
DLCs
shit.
with it. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
At full price.
But
wow.
But yeah, $21 for the game if you buy the starter pack edition. Buy the starter pack edition. I don't know why you wouldn't of that game. So okay. All right. I'm so jazzed about this game. I can't, dude. I'm addicted. I am fucking addicted. I'm hooked. I didn't even know I needed this in my life right now. I didn't even know I wanted this in my fucking life right now.
Never thought I'd see the day playing Tarkov again.
Get the fuck
right.
Sorry, I had to do it for Enigma.
Nope. Get out of here. Where's that? Mute. You're done. I'm muting it.
Oh, thank you, Scruffy.
God damn it.
I got you.
I will boot each and every one of you out of here that call it Tarkov. I swear to God, play with me, fuck around with me, and find out.
Oh my God.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
Yes, you're unmuted.
Let's go.
So the game that I am talking about is Gray Zone Warfare. Myself and Scruffy both have been playing it. I have dumped an exorbitant amount of hours in it since it came out on Tuesday. I want to clear something up very why it pisses me off about this whole like Tarkov thing or whatever else. The when you play this game, the only thing that is Tarkov is that they have vendors, right? They have tasks that you have to get done, and you have the locker system to it, right? Aside from that, you're going to mod your guns, but there are plenty of other games that go just as in depth with modding their guns and all of that kind of stuff. That's about where this ends when it comes to Tarkov. Like Tarkov is a forced extraction shooter PvP game where you are going in and you are basically forced to interact with either other people and or AI within a single instance zone, and you have to extract. That's not what this is at all. Like this is more akin to what I would say, like if DayZ or Arma or even Deadside, Squad, maybe, but like Deadside, Arma, DayZ. If those all three kind of had a baby, right? That's what this is. There is no extraction other than the sense that you get to a helo, right? You get to a zone and you call for a helo to come in and pick you up and take you back to your base. And it's a military base. That's a safe zone. That's just like Deadside. Deadside has 2 military zones. This has your base. You go and you do it. Like this game is a very, very, very PvE with organic, very organic PvP. Like that's what this game is. And you're going to, and all of it is a persistent world. There's no you load into your server. There's no other load times. Like there's no load times. I know for a fact that Pika right now is just trying to poke the bear because I have been in conversations with him when he is like, no, this game's not Tarkov. It's not Tarkov. Shut up, Pika. So it is. So yeah, you go in, you have missions that you're going to go do, and it's a persistent world. It's always on. Like the servers are always on, and it doesn't ever, there's no load times. Like if you want to go from one point of the map and walk your happy ass all the way across the other map, You absolutely can do it. There's 3 factions. There's the Crimson CSI Crimson Shield Initiative, I think. The Lemang, I don't know. I don't know all their names. It's basically Crimson, Lemang, and Mithras are the 3 different factions. And
that's a Tarkov thing though too, right?
Tarkov has
factions. They have 2 factions. They have bears and PMCs, right?
But it's
and
not
scavs.
Well, scavs is not a faction. It's just an AI.
Scavs are
it's
the AI, but
you're still running as a scav, right?
You could play as like an AI scav, like a player scav.
You can't play as a player scav in this. There's not that's
that's what we're saying. There's 3 factions in Tarkov. There's 3 factions in this.
So you can kind of consider scavs a faction, I guess.
But the other side of it though is that the factions in Tarkov don't mean a thing. Like outside of just being like, oh, I'm a bear, I'm a whatever else. Like they don't really but they don't. It doesn't mean anything. Like it doesn't do anything right now. Like there's nothing that doing.
I haven't played Tarkov in a while, but I thought it unlocked stuff. But.
Nope. Like you're literally it's just choosing a faction, choosing kind of like there may be a few different like gun choices, but it's very few and far between. This one is very faction. Like your faction is your faction, and you see your faction on the map, and you will engage with other factions. And again, it's no holds barred there, right? But you are like in Tarkov, you kill your own faction, it doesn't matter. Like you're just killing anybody. It doesn't. You don't know if you're killing a bear. You don't know if you're killing a USEC. Doesn't matter. This one, like if you kill your own faction 3 times, you're booted from the server. And on top of that, if you're in a squad, you can't re-queue back up to the same with your friends for 24 hours. If you kill again, you get a 72-hour ban. If you do it a 3rd time, you get and again, this is killing your own faction 3 times over, right?
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I actually really dislike that.
I actually have a problem with stuff like that because, and this speaks from experience. I show my dad these kinds of games. I've introduced him to like Hell Let Loose and like Izanzo and stuff like that, and he sometimes doesn't know the difference. Like, that's just being an older generation. For people who aren't as like, that aren't as gamer-esque as us, like that can see these minute differences, like they don't know why they're being banned for these reasons. Like I think that's a problem.
I think not just that, but
on that kind of thing.
Not just that, but I think in my opinion, if you're going to be that hardcore with the bans, just give people the ability to not choose a faction and just be against everything. If that's the case,
or like if there's obviously an intentional griefer, like which is why I feel like they have these systems in place. Like zone out, like these people are killing this amount of people in like a very short amount of time. Like they're obviously griefing. Like try to make some sort of system to like differentiate that.
Or do it. Or do it like GTA does and just throw them into a server with the same kind of people like that. I don't know.
I mean, I don't
cap you.
Like a 72-hour ban seems weird.
I mean, to nobody's fault. You ran in front of me. I was just fucking around, but I was shooting. You almost ran in front of me. I would have got penalized nearly for just accidentally killing you.
Hold on. You would have gotten penalized if you would have done this 3 times over, right? Like
exactly. But I'm saying, I could throw a grenade and kill somebody and not be an accident.
You're right. I'm not. When I am agree, I'll agree with
a bit severe.
I don't think so, because I think that it really it really curtails a lot of what I have seen so far as team killing. I've watched plenty of people been playing on this online, and you don't see it. You see a lot of camaraderie, a lot of work. Now, like Pika and Panic, they were in a match, and so was my son. And this dude was a complete douchebag, and literally was just like, he was on the same faction, and we play Crimson, and he, everyone's calling out, be like, hey, like, friendly on your right, friendly coming up the stairs, friendly. This dude was like, fuck you, and literally boom, 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 and just gunned them all 3 down. And it was like, what, and out, boom, immediately
that's
gone.
That's obviously griefing, but that's different than just like accidentally killing somebody.
Right. I mean, I understand, but like again, and I understand that it can be somewhat a little harsh, but at the same time, I also will challenge and say, how many of these games have come out? How many times do we complain about, people that are griefers and it doesn't take, they don't do anything about it, or the systems aren't good enough to handle it or deal with it. I do agree, Enigma, like, hey, like at a certain point, put them in their own fucking lobbies, let them grief themselves. Well, I've also said they should have their own faction. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It just seems like the easier way of dealing with that would just be like throw them into like a like a pirate faction or something like that. If you're going to go down that route, instead of banning them and making it so that they can't play a game that they purchased for 72
Right.
hours because they killed somebody in game, let them continue to play the game.
They can still play it. They cannot play with their friends within a squad within that certain amount of time. And then
but again, we're doing semantics here. Like if you're playing the game with a group of people and then you're banned for 72 hours, that would piss me off.
But you're talking
even
about,
if it was just like accidentals.
You're now talking about like not just one, not just two, not three, but 4 times of killing 12. That's basically killing 12 people. But
again, you can do that easily with a grenade throw on accident. Like that.
I mean, I don't know. Like I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, like I like the system, and I am someone that loves to fucking just be.
I get where you're coming from. I really do. I understand it because I'm right there with you. I think that they do need to curtail, and that's one thing that we've talked about in the past with certain other games like League of Legends that didn't curtail the toxicity quick enough. So now their entire community is built off of toxicity essentially, but. To me, this seems like it's an overreach or an overstep.
Most of the community is actually like really positive about it. They like the ban system and what's going on.
Maybe even having something to the point of like if you're a low level, it's less egregious than it is like if you're like level 10 to 15 or something.
Because
I don't know, just something to get that learning curve out of the way.
You also have to understand too that because of like the way that the LZs work and like how you get in and out, like you easily could just have someone that's just like, fuck it, like I'm gonna sit by the LZ and I'm just gonna pop people that are coming off the LZ that are on the same team because I want their gear and I'm gonna and that's it, right? Like,
well, sure, that is what I'm saying. Like if they need to make sure that they have a system in play to like really zone in on the people who are obviously griefing.
Yeah, but how
are just trying to play the game.
I mean, we say that, but how hard is that? That's not exactly the easiest thing to do.
I mean,
either.
No, but yeah, I mean, like there's griefers are going to obviously go for like team kills and stuff like that, and they're not gonna just like wait on it. I mean, if some are, then maybe, but I don't know.
So
I think that still is pretty egregious to the point of like.
So I just want to
bans and stuff like that.
I just want to make sure. So when you get banned for that kind of thing, you can still play the game. You just can't play the game.
You cannot play your games with like your so. Your first,
the people you were queued with,
right? If you're queued up, your first band, because what happens is you can join if I'm in a squad, I can join your server, right? So I can join in on your server. So they're stopping you saying, hey, you were in this server, you were being an ass, right? Or whatever else, or you had the 3 team kills, so you're not getting back in that server. You can go to another server.
Your squad can leave that server and go to a different one, and then you could join them.
No.
You still can't play with them.
You cannot play with them for the first. It's for 24 hours for that first ban.
Yeah, I don't know. That just to me seems like it's essentially the same thing. It's just they're basically putting the problem onto another server at that point. They really should just have servers for griefers if that's the case. Like,
sure. I mean, I don't disagree with that. And I'm not saying it's the most perfect system. I'm just saying I don't mind it. The community's not like, and I've said multiple times. I was like, hey, like one of the things I think that should be done, because one of the big things about this game, and what I want to spend a lot of time on, is the organic nature of this. Like there is like, I really, really love the fact right now, especially there's no wiki. There will be wikis for everything. It just is the nature of the beast. But like we are playing with no wikis, and the map is very like, they give you a map, it's very minimalistic. Like, and as you continue to like, you're organically pushed to discover stuff, engage with the game, talk to people that are around, like, your like I was in a mission yesterday and I was like by myself and I said, hey, I've got to get this mission done. Do you know where this is at? And I'm communicating with another fellow person in my faction, right? He's like, oh yeah, it's over here. And like, he helped me get there. Right. Like I'm one of the most toxic pieces of shit in PvP games. And I'm legitimately just being like, yo, I'm going to be like, I'm going to have like, be friendly. Like, I want to know, I want to help. And so the organic nature of this game is what's beautiful. So I would say, like, I would love for them to do something that is extremely organic, right? And maybe, and again, it's something that you kind of have to stumble upon where like, oh, you can choose to denounce your faction, right? But you have to kind of like stumble upon that, and then you denounce your faction, and now it's a fucking free for all. Like, you're a pirate faction. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And maybe they'll implement that later on. I don't know.
That's what I think they need to do, honestly. Cause like if you're gonna be that heavy handed with the punishment, just it seems to me like they're just shunting the problem off on another server. Like there needs to be more of a I'm not saying like more of a heavy-handed like punishment for them, but like if they suddenly are flagged like pirate, or if they're suddenly flagged like this opposite faction, and now all three factions are able to basically gang up on them, that to me I feel would be more of a deterrent than just now you can't play on that server, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think something like that would actually be kind of fun too, like a rogue.
I think it would too.
kinda
Yeah.
I mean,
feature,
again, yeah,
you know?
you know, and the other things that because again, we spent a good amount of time, and we have to move past this, but this is it's such, like, I think that it's getting it, you know, in the wake of Tarkov, right? That's happening, all the bullshit that's going on with Tarkov. Like, I get why it's being compared with it, but it's unfair to compare the game to Tarkov when the only elements that it has is very minute in the sense of what it is. Like, the game,
I don't really think it is. They're not comparing it because of like toe to toe with Tarkov. That's just the closest thing that people can compare it to.
Yeah,
right, but that's
it
what
is
like
Tarkov-esque.
That's-
It's
but-
just like we were talking
but
about
it's not.
Souls-esque.
It's
you know?
not. It's not Tarkov-esque. Like,
It
that's the
is
thing.
100% Tarkov-esque.
It's as someone that's not played the game, I don't know if you can really sit there and say that it's Tarkov-esque. It's not Tarkov.
I don't.
Like, I've played Tarkov.
I've never really played Dark Souls games. I can still say it's Dark Souls-esque.
But
like,
I'm telling
to
you,
me, it looks like
it's
Tarkov.
not.
It has very similar aspects of the gameplay to Tarkov. It has very similar ways of going through menus to Tarkov. You have three factions, just like Tarkov does. We're not stating that it's a bad thing that it's Tarkov-esque. We're just stating that's the closest thing that you have to compare when you're like, hey, should I play this game? Well, do you like Tarkov? Yeah. Then you'd probably like it. It's a Tarkov-esque game.
I completely disagree. If you like Tarkov and you go in playing this game, you most likely will probably not like this game, because this game is not Tarkov. Tarkov loads you into a PvP focused centric game mode map. That's what you do. You're instanced, and that's what it is. That's not what this is. Like, if you and people that are going to get this game thinking it's Tarkov and comparing it to Tarkov,
levels, right?
like it's even later levels, like, it's still not Tarkov. Like, it's not close to Tarkov. It's closer to Arma.
I'm just saying, I feel like it's a Tarkov light. Like, it takes some from Tarkov, it takes some from Arma. I still get a squad feel. I don't know about you. I do get a squad feel from this game, but in a different sense. Like, if you just took like some of the features, like I said, like from Tarkov, being like the looting features, the tasks and everything, and you put it into a persistent world of like squad or something, I think that's what you get out of this game. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's been comparing it to Tarkov as a bad thing. Like, I don't know why you have such an aversion to that.
Because
Like,
it's not
on Tarkov right now, but that's because of everything else they've been doing. The Tarkov and everything else is a great game.
I'm not saying you guys. I'm not.
Okay.
It's the watching the Pestily channels, watching all of the Tarkov streamers, the Cleans, the Stone Mountains, all of these people that their community is literally shitting on this game because they're just like, it's Tarkov, it's fucking Tarkov, like Tarkov, and I'm like, and literally even the streamers are like, guys, it's the developers are like, guys, it's not fucking Tarkov, and this is a fault of the game, the reporting, like game news, like everyone's just like Tarkov killer, Tarkov fucking killer, Tarkov killer, and it's like, oh my God, like, yeah, from the moment that you step foot into the game, it does not feel like Tarkov. Like, once you get on that helicopter and you drop into that world and you understand, you're like, this is not Tarkov. This is not what Tarkov is, like, completely. And I don't know, man. I'm fucking in love with it. Like, I will say, like, the downside to the games is that, it's not optimized, but it's early access. I get that. It's got some optimization.
It's definitely not optimized.
Yeah, there are some
for rough rigs. It is hard on.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, again, I can't compare. Like, I'm running on everything epic with, and I get like fucking 180 frames, but that is not fair because that's my rig, right?
I'll give you a testament. I have like a 37 Ti. I don't know, an i9 or something, and I get about like 50 frames at a good with that's with rough. FSR. When I go through brush, I get about like 20 frames.
How many
severely.
How many
That's
gigs
crazy.
of RAM do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
I'd have to look. I can't remember. I think I have 32.
Yeah,
I don't remember correctly.
again, by no means it's not optimized. There are a lot of optimization issues that
it's
are
early
in
access.
this. Yeah, it's very early access,
yeah,
but
I can give that a pass.
I'm willing to give it a pass on that front. Give it time. I hope they optimize it in time. They need to, but right now I'm not gonna fault them for that.
I also will give them props. First game I've ever played shooter wise turns off motion blur out of the gate. Motion blur's turned off. Like
I've had some other games do that recently.
I'm like,
I think they're finally starting to get the memo. Like nobody wants fucking motion blur, dude. This game already gives me motion sickness. I don't need to add on top of it.
So aside from that though, like again, some of your early access issues, but again, the game, in my opinion, as far as like functioning wise, runs better than most. Like it runs better than most of these games that come out like this.
I will say another con to me is the AI. I don't think the AI is very smart.
They're not intelligent when they get alerted right out of the gate. But I will say I have played more, and last night I had some shit where again they're still AI, right? They're not like but I had dudes that were hiding. I had guys that were chucking grenades. They were flanking. They were using different techniques. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this? And it was very much like not the typical AI that I went up against.
Again, I haven't played too much, but I just from the short period I played, I was like, how am I going? I'm going up against AI that are shooting me through wooden doors that can't even see me, and shooting me through bushes, which is a big fault of these style of games. The worst part about Tarkov is the AI of being able to see you through, an opaque obstacle that you're not able to see them through, but they're AI, so they can shoot through that.
It's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue with a lot of those.
For a lot of these games. That I don't know if that's ever going to be fixed. I was
about to say that's a huge issue with a lot of these like tactical shooter games. Is like the only way that they can make the difficulty for that AI to match with the difficulty that you're going to state is going to be basically ESP, more or less, being able to see you through
I'm
objects.
also not sure if it's a hit reg issue or what, but they might be spongy to me. I've shot many of them in the head with both the AK and just like the side pistol you get, and they take like 2 to 3 shots. And these are the AI, not the army dudes who have like bandanas. And these guys have bandanas and shit. I know armor,
I don't know.
Helmets or anything. They don't go down in that in 1 to 2 shots.
It's weird because you're saying that, and again, like Pika, my brother, and some other are again saying like, dude, I'm unloading, but then I'll come around and like, again, not to the same guys that they're shooting, so there's no like they've taken damage, and I'm gonna come around and I literally just line up, headshot, bop, drop them, they're down.
I'm doing lining up. I'm waiting.
I don't know.
I'm holding my breath, and
it's that
head.
It's that 180.
It's got to be a hit reg thing.
It's 180 FPS, bro.
Frame rate.
Something.
I don't know, man. Like there's and in fact we may see it right here. I don't know, but like there's a situation where my brother is about to have it. He's about to round this corner, and he gets. Is he? No, but I already killed him. Did I kill him? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he was about to round that corner. That guy right there, and literally, he's just like, do. I'm like, dude, I don't know if you have fucking bad aim or whatever else, but I literally come up on the corner and just pop him right in the dome, and he's dead. So again, all I'm saying is it's $35 fucking dollars. If you like Arma, if you like DayZ, if you like those persistent worlds and whatever. This fucking game is, in my opinion, amazing. Yes, I'm gonna tell you I'm biased because I love the fucking thing.
You like Tarkov?
$35. I fucking hate Tarkov. I hate fucking Tarkov.
I will say at the moment,
$35.
I got to put more time into it, but I think it's gonna definitely shape up to be a solid competitor in the genres. Just at the moment, I'm still hesitant to like really give it, my full like appraisal. Like I don't know.
I love it. I'm in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. But anyway, all right. That is what we've been playing. We are going to go through the news, and we've got quite a bit to talk about. So we are going to make sure that we hit every topic. Well, we gotta watch time. So, first thing up on the news is, if you don't like the hunt for PvP and you don't want to do Gray Zone for PvP, well, you can play Star Wars Hunters. It is a upcoming competitive multiplayer game by Zynga, and it launches on June 4th.
It's a shooter, also, I believe.
Switch,
it's
iOS, and Android devices.
Yeah, Switch and mobile.
Does anybody
That's
want
a weird
those?
one.
I don't know. I really have no idea what the
See, there's a YouTube video. Let's
the community will be for this. This
is it
to
like
me
a hero
is
shooter? Like, what's the deal with it?
this
Like,
is giving
what
me like
genre
kind of
is it?
what that Pokemon MOBA, you know, like they were like that the baby's first MOBA that was that Pokemon Unite or whatever. That's what this is giving me, but in like a different genre.
I mean,
I don't even know much about this game. All I know is it's like a Star Wars shooter, right? Like a hero shooter, maybe.
From what I saw when I was watching the video with it, it seems like it's going to be a very no, I wouldn't say like Overwatch-esque, but like from what because they don't have any actual gameplay. It's all
we got nothing right now.
Cinematic. We have no idea what this is going to be, but from what they portrayed it as, it's definitely like a hero shooter of some sort. The portrayal that we have so far right here is like a capture the flag or a capture the point of some sort. So I'm curious to see exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it seems very Pokemon All Stars or whatever it was.
I don't know what the name of that was, but that's the big vibes I'm getting.
This is anytime I hear Zynga, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, Bazinga. I don't know.
It's very strange that it's coming out on June 4th.
Go back. Like, there's two Jawa in a trench coat.
I saw that.
One of the characters.
Well, I do have a question here, and again, I used to be very much into Star Wars. I am not anymore. Are robots able to be fucking force sensitive? Like, is that canon?
I thought I heard something about there was like one robot that was force sensitive. I'm not up to date on my Star Wars knowledge, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
I thought there was like one unique robot that was. Did you see a robot that was using the force?
Yeah,
or something?
yeah. There's a robot using the. Hold on, it's like right in here. This robot using.
In the current continuity, there's never been a droid that can use the Force. However, there are a few close calls.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This just I don't know.
There is one instance of a droid named Skippy the Jedi droid, but it did not use the Force. It simulated. It simulated the Force.
What a.
I was about to say, I don't. Did this guy use the Force, or was he just using a
I don't know. I'm just whenever I see a person using a lightsaber, I
because the lightsabers
kind of like drawn
are
to like force sensitive.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I'm not sure how accurate to canon this is supposed to be. They actually do have like a time frame, I think, somewhere on that doc that was stating this is between like two episodes. I don't know which one it was. Said somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting. We'll see. I never have really high hopes for any of these PvP games that are Twitch exclusive, just because Nintendo servers are still in the Stone Age. So.
Oh fuck! I thought it was still coming out to PC, so it's not. So it is just Switch, iOS, and Android.
It's just Switch, iOS, and
Android. Yeah. That's it.
What?
It's effectively a mobile shooter.
A mobile game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean could be good, but
it could be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why
probably won't be, but it could be.
That Pokemon MOBA.
This raises a question that I've got for you, Bill, for Foam Stars. How's that doing, by the way? Have you gone back to that at all, or like tried that anymore?
I haven't touched it.
I haven't even heard anything about it, so like I don't know if it's.
I really wonder.
I don't think it's so as of the end of February, Foam Stars had dropped 54% of its active player base.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
That was 2 weeks after its launch.
I'm pretty sure we called that it was going to be like a 2 week thing, and then it was gonna die. But that's not the point. No. We're talking about Star Wars.
As of April 11th, it's down 94%. Well, 2 months after release. So
I don't. Dead. Yeah, as I was about to say, I don't see this going. I see this going down the same route as Foam Stars. Like, I honestly don't think this is going to be something that a lot of people play. The only reason
like it might not be is because it is like it's got that Switch and mobile. Like that, they don't have too many of these games that are sold for like
mobile
Switch
does.
and mobile.
Mobile's got a shit ton of them.
Switch doesn't. That's why I'm thinking like because from what I know, like that Pokemon MOBA game that does actually pretty decent on Switch.
It does decent, yeah.
So I think it'll have a niche community. I'm not saying this game's. I just don't think this one's gonna die. We'll see though.
I didn't say it was gonna die. I just don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna do well. It'll be a very niche thing.
It'll just live. That's all. It'll be
there in the corner.
It'll just be complacently
Is it free to play? Did they come out and say it's free to play?
It's free to play.
The monetization of this game is going to be fucking atrocious. I'm just calling it right now.
But you wouldn't pay for this game. I'd rather.
I mean,
free to play.
Pokemon All Stars was
Exactly.
pretty atrocious on its monetization as well.
Can't be any worse than EA.
Free to play than being a paid
or
game.
Blizzard.
Or Blizzard.
I'm just saying, it's going to be fucking atrocious. Anyway,
it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
let's keep the trend going with games that I don't know if anybody ever asked for or wanted. But how about you guys want to play Funko Fusion? You guys want to play with your Funko Pops? Like this game. This is
weird.
This is fucking odd. I saw this.
So
and I thought,
what is this?
Yeah, so Funko Fusion is a. I want to make sure I get this right because I don't know if it's competitive. Give me. It's a co-op action game. Yeah, so it's a co-op action adventure game. Like basically, I'm thinking like
I'm thinking like a Lego
platformer.
Like
yeah.
You know,
I would compare it to that. It's single player and online co-op. It so far here are the worlds that we're gonna get, right, or like the genres of
it's a
Funkos.
big crossover game. Like that's what it is. Like
it's so you get Jurassic World, you get Jaws, you get Back to the Future, The Thing, Shaun of the Dead, Chucky, Battlestar Galactica, The Umbrella Academy, and He-Man Masters of the Universe.
How weird of a crossover I'm sure.
Well, it's all NBC Universal properties.
Stuff. Oh, is this Universal?
Yeah,
okay.
It's NBC Universal.
I thought this was just like Funko in general. Like so Universal they're going off their Funkos.
Yes, they're using the Universal
the image of Universal properties
and properties, and they're bringing it in here.
Ooh,
so
okay,
but again, I don't know. I don't think it says in this article whether or not they are if there's a price to it or this is going to be a cost. I mean, I could see this being somewhat kind of cool. I mean, I
could see this going like an NFT route or a
or I could see that if NFTs weren't dead.
Well, the Nintendo has what are the little action figures with the Nintendo that
if you hadn't
Amiibos.
Amiibos, that's it. Yeah,
like an Amiibo or a Skylanders type
thing.
It would
be kind of dope though to be like, yo, if I could have
special edition versions where you buy the Funko and you can put it in the
play them in the game. Like
that would be dope because I was just like a few podcasts ago, I was talking about how much I miss like Skylanders and shit. Like if I could do something like that with Pop Funkos or whatever, I'd be down with that. But I don't think that's this.
Definitely.
This is just like you're playing a game with the properties of what do we just say?
It's definitely not free.
Coming out with character codes.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not free. I mean, it could be free, but they've got a pre-order on their website. It says everyone who pre-orders Funko Fusion before release receives the Walking Dead pack for free. This downloadable content pack includes 2 bonus playable characters from The Walking Dead, Rick Grimes and Michonne. It also includes 2 bonus outfits for Rick and Michonne. The Walking Dead pack is included with all physical edition pre-orders. Your retail of choice and with all digital pre-orders via online stores on PC and consoles. It is going to be on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and Nintendo Switch on September 13th.
So everywhere.
It's it is okay. Here's the prices. We've got it. Woo! Want to take it? Just guess.
Well,
let's take a walk.
It's going to be a 60.
It's probably $50.
So PC 60, Nintendo Switch 60, Xbox Series X 60, PS4 50, PS5 60.
What? Oh, okay. Oh,
interesting. Okay,
$60.
No, that's No,
I'm good.
I'm out. What would you pay for this? I'd pay 30. If I'm interested,
I wouldn't even pay 30.
If I see this game and I watch gameplay and I'm like, okay, maybe actually this might be fun, I'd pay like 30 at the most.
I'm trying to see if we have like a, because they have a trailer.
There's a trailer,
but I don't think it has any.
It's got very, very minuscule amounts of gameplay, and you can't really. It seems like it's like a almost like a shooter, like a third-person shooter.
That's
almost
my
in the background.
Really what this is trying to be.
Maybe I don't know. Like some of the stuff I'm seeing is like kind of cool. Yeah, it's online co-op.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe $60 though. It's a fucking lot.
This is gonna be monetized all high hell too.
Oh
like,
hell yeah!
$60 is not
absolutely. What would be cool though is like if you like they did what like Upper Deck does, where you can buy if you bought it in the game and then they sent you an actual version of the Funko. Like that'd be kind of cool, but they're definitely not gonna fucking do that.
No, they're not gonna do that. They really should go down that route of like if you buy this Funko, you get a code to put a skin in game or a character in game. Like that really would benefit this game. I think that would not only raise their Funko sales, but it would also give you an incentive to play this fucking game.
I'm gonna put this in the notes. I've timestamped it for. There's a little bit of gameplay right here.
Can you show that? Is that something you could bring up?
Yeah. Give me a sec. I will do that. Hold on 1 second, guys.
Just because I'm curious.
I'm still getting NFT vibes.
Oh yeah,
I could see that.
Where did you put it?
It's up at the top of the news links, up above the episode.
All right, let me pull this up, guys. We're doing it live.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's just another way that Universal is trying to basically make money off of Funko Pops. Essentially, they're probably not making enough money off of them.
So they like this again, is really gonna boost their Funko sales if they don't do anything with the physical, like
maybe
guys. Like I don't.
So if you go back, I had it times right here. So there's like a little like third person shooter-esque point for it.
It still looks cinematic to me though. I don't know.
It does look cinematic, and that's the only reason why I was like, I don't know if it actually
differentiate anything.
They're running away. There's more shooting.
Was that John Wick?
More shooting.
That's what I thought. It looked like John Wick.
Flamethrower.
I don't know.
There's certain aspects of that are like kind of all right.
That looks cinematic cool, still. That looks like just like a third person cinematic.
No, the one where he was going up and like burning the guy or whatever else. I don't think so. I think that's
there's a lot more properties in there that like Scott Pilgrim, Hot Fuzz. There's a lot more that I seen in there in that little trailer.
Yeah, Universal owns a lot.
Yeah. They didn't list all of them.
Dude, oh man, yeah, they are gonna monetize stuff.
They're gonna make money
out of this game.
Yeah, they're coming out with pops that are specifically for this game. And I swear I mean, it would be stupid if they didn't give you like a code if you bought that pop.
You think this is gonna be? No, I was saying, you think it's gonna be the next Fortnite kind of style thing? Like,
oh no, it's not gonna live up to that.
Do you think that it could like, let's say they do everything right. Do you think they could possibly go down that and take over that route?
No.
I ain't gonna say no because like they could, but like, I don't think that Universal has it.
You're saying on the specs of Fortnite. I mean,
I'm saying like if they
Fortnite is huge, bro. That game is massive.
Let's say if they were to do like a battle royale, or they take this and they. I mean, you're like Funko is already what Epic wants to be when it comes to
well, that's
what if.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's what I'm saying. I'm basing it off of the if. Like
that was what I was gonna say. Is like you got to remember that I'm blanking on the fucking name. You literally just said Fortnite built their entire like player base off of the fact that they had skins from everywhere, right? They're still doing it to this day with Disney. Universal already has it,
Universal.
But do you know how many things Universal has? Like,
sure. Yeah. But I mean, Fortnite is everything.
Right, but
Fortnite is everything that they can get their hands on. Yeah, but Universal already has that.
Okay, so if this game does amazing, then maybe they expand. Okay, and then I could see something like that.
I'm just saying I'm not going to say no.
I think honestly, I think the Funko style is going to really niche them.
Yeah.
That end of the day, this is a Funko game. You're always going to be looking at these Funko style guys. I love Funko to a certain extent, but I'm not going to look at these big-headed, mofos like all day, every day. I don't think they're that appealing, honestly. I'm trying to look. I'm stop me from playing the game, and maybe even other people.
So this is their first game. This is the developer's first game. 10 Games. This is their first game. 10. Yeah, is the name of the developer.
10.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, I'm not going to say no because they already have they've got the perfect storm where they already have that built-in IP, built-in franchise IP.
Fuck, dude, if they could tap into Funko, like actually tap into not just like Universal, but actual Funko. Fuck, dude.
If they could do that, then
and on top of it, like you said, if you go out and buy a Funko Pop, you get a code for it. You can bring your Funko Pop into this game. That would be a huge one.
Yeah, dude. Like, because also, doesn't Universal own? right? Did they, or is that WB that owns Harry Potter? That's Universal, right?
That would be
that is Universal,
I
right?
believe
Because
that
they
is
have
Universal.
Because
Universal
Universal,
Studios.
yeah,
They
they
have
have Harry Potter World.
Um,
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm
pretty
not
sure
spending
of it,
$60 on it, but I'm just saying, like, I
hell
think
no,
I think the
yeah.
better play would have been free to play, and then to drop the character, like,
Yeah.
to do that model.
Again, yeah.
But $60 that's a little rough. That's a little rough.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, there's Funko Fusion.
I guess, yeah.
So I don't know if it's gonna get. Maybe it'll get shuttered. Maybe it doesn't. But let's talk about another company that did shutter some games. Unfortunately, if you are a fan of Kerbal Space Program 2 and the studio, they Take-Two is kind of saying, giving them the Knicks. Intercept Games was basically the developer for Kerbal Space Program 2, laid off. Its parent company Take-Two Interactive had layoffs. 70 people from the developer behind Kerbal Space Program 2. So is this dead? Like, is Kerbal dead? Like, are they? Or is this just like a skeleton?
No, pretty much. Yeah. From what I can understand, they basically came through, and Intercept Games did not immediately respond. They're basically not. There's nobody there. I mean, I'm not saying there's nobody there, but they didn't respond. But IGN did reach out to Take-Two, and they explicitly stated basically that Intercept Games' closure is basically they're not going to provide any details, but it's pretty much guaranteed. Like it's done, man. Like Take-Two screwed him over pretty hard. I don't know. They might still have like a development like a skeleton crew on it, but I highly doubt it considering that crew was already really small. And Take-Two and Kerbal Space Program was already not doing that great. If that makes any sense, they were struggling really hard with the development of the game. They had a really bad early access release, and I think that they were just barely starting to kind of get that out of the way. Basically, they were kind of finally starting to work through some of those bugs and some of those issues that they had on release for Kerbal Space Program 2. So layoffs, laying off 70 employees from that, I would imagine is probably not good. Yeah, I would imagine.
So I guess Kerbal 1 basically did really well. Like, people loved
Kerbal 1 did great. Kerbal 1 did amazing. The problem is I don't think that the developers for Kerbal 2 are the same developers for Kerbal 1, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. I don't know 100%, but I think there was a difference between the two developers, and whatever happened on Kerbal Space Program 2, again, like I said, they released in a really rough state. There was a lot of bugs. The game didn't work very well. There was a lot of people that were really unhappy with it, and they've been working for, I think it's been out now for like 6 months or something like that, somewhere around there. They've been working pretty much diligently just to try and fix whatever was going on with the original release for early access. So yeah, this statement
they also are shutting down another studio with this as well.
Yeah,
Roll 7, being the creators of Roller Dome and Ali Ali World, which I know, Sin, you've talked about those games in the past. They're shutting down that indie studio as well.
Dude, fucking damn it, man! Like,
it really sucks, man.
This is I don't know.
So this right here, they also stated that the company, where is it? Cost reduction. I saw something in here. Basically, they're stating that they're going to continue to work or to provide like post closure updates on the game, but it's shuttered. They're
killing it. They're going to kill it.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what they're doing? They're funding GTA 6.
Which is shitty because it's still in early access. That's the worst part, is like it's still in early access. Are they going to give people like are they going to let people
maybe
like refund it? Because like if they're going to shutter it and close it down,
Steam might.
They should not. Yeah, they should not be
access.
getting any money for that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
By the way, the original developer for Kerbal Space was Squad Flying Tiger Entertainment, which was a very small studio in Mexico. It was like a single dude for a while. So I don't know. This is shit. This is sad. This sucks. This is
Wait. This is not only that, but Private Division that's the publisher who I think are also being affected by this, also being shut down. They're the ones who published The Outer Worlds as well as Kerbal Space Program 2,
as well as No Rest for the Wicked.
No Rest for the Wicked. Yeah.
Dude. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold on one sec. You're hearing it live, chat.
Yeah, it says right here, April 18th, Private Division successfully launched. Where was it? That's the worst part about this article is like it's all over the place.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Well, the developer of it is Moon Studio, which Moon Studio is owned by
Private Division staff in Seattle and New York,
Microsoft.
Las Vegas have been let go.
Well, again, they're for No Rest for the Wicked. That is owned by Microsoft because it's Moon Studios, which is owned by Microsoft. That will they will self-publish if they. I mean, it's already been published. It's out. They'll continue to support it. Like
they'll be fine, but just the publisher Private
that's
Division
fucking
is
wild,
being let
man.
go.
That's dude. It's fucking crazy. This is just again shit. Like
it's
I
nonstop.
Yeah, this is and actually it brings us to kind of our next topic here, which is Square Enix, love them, hate them. Like, sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't. But, Square Enix has gone in and canceled some games in effort to be more selective and focused. And the reason that I bring this up with this other topic of Kerbal Space Program is because when I heard this and I read this, I don't know whether I was like, I'm happy that this is going on because it's like, hey, we're going to be more selective to make sure that our IPs are done well. Because, we look at, I do this every single time. Forspoken. Bill talked about Forspoken and played it, and we talked about that, kind of turbulent developing cycle.
Yeah.
And we've seen Square again not handle developing really, really well. And I don't know whether
Foam Stars that has 95% of its player base gone.
Is that Square too? That's Square? Yeah. So
you said 95
yeah, that's
now?
Symbiogenesis NFT game that they talked about once and then we haven't heard anything else about. So
like my thing here is that this reeks of just money hungry filth, nasty, just being like, we're not gonna we're not going to care about gaming. We're going to care about the dollar. And then, them being like, oh, we're going to be more selective and focused. Be like, no, how about you actually do your fucking job and like look at games and say, hey, we're going to develop games that are actually worth like spending, again, yes, being more selective. But if you select it and say, hey, we're going to start this, then give the support that is needed to make said games better. Right. And actually support them. Forspoken's a great example. Right. That game I think probably could have been fucking phenomenal. Given if it hadn't been fucked with 1,600 times. I don't know, man. This is sad. And then you see again, like Take-Two with Kerbal Space Program, like the game hadn't.
You see all these early access games coming out too, and I think that like early access has been so taken advantage of. I mean, Kerbal Space is an early access game. All of these games are coming out and like. They're not going into early access for the right reasons. They're going into it for the greed and like the money hungry, like you said. Like it's really the state of gaming that we're in right now. It's just so
well. We called it. I mean, we called it last episode about early access being a fucking when the rug pull's coming. Like I said it.
Like this is another one in the many more to come.
Like.
I mean, I'm choosing to look at this more along the lines of like, yeah, I get where you're coming from, where it's like just finish the games, like make games that people are going to want to play, and then you won't have to worry about it. But then again, I'm looking at it as like, if they're not pushing forward this just astounding amount of bullshit, right? They have more time to focus in on like what. Like look at the actual games the gamers want to play, and look at that and actually develop games for gamers.
Yeah, my only concern with that kind of mantra is that going to limit creativity, or are they just going to continue to play it like AAA safe? Like,
oh, they will. Yeah, no, 100%. I'm willing to bet that they'll just turn out like Bethesda essentially, because Bethesda will not go past whatever they're comfortable with developing.
Here's the other kicker, right? Is that part of this decision was because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth didn't hit expectations. Well, let me explain. Let me just pull out my like a non-developer, but like, again, I've been in the business world for a long fucking time. I understand how to kind of make money when it comes to certain things. And I'm just saying, maybe just fucking maybe, if you don't lock your fucking game to a single console and you open it up to, let's not even say fucking Xbox, let's just say PC, you open it up to a whole nother fucking market, you might get more money. I'm just like, maybe, just maybe, as we've been preaching forever, that console exclusivity is fucking stupid. Like, if you're talking, if your goal is sheer just, I want to make money, like, to sit here and say that Final Fantasy Rebirth, like, Square Enix legitimately came out and said they're disappointed with Final Fantasy Rebirth. And again, I'm not saying Final Fantasy Rebirth is great. I've not played it, but am I wrong to say that if you would have launched this on PC, I guarantee you'd had more sales?
100%. 100%. I mean, it's a narrative that's kind of being brought to the light recently with Microsoft releasing a lot of its games over to PlayStation. And lo and behold, those Microsoft titles are topping PlayStation charts because putting in that net wide is good.
I mean, that's our next topic. We're encompassing all of these things to save time, but also because we're hitting on all of that. But no, absolutely. I mean, like Microsoft, they release their numbers and their game sales fucking through the roof, right? Like 51% increased revenue year over year. Obviously, Activision Blizzard helped a huge amount of that, right?
Yeah.
Without that, they would have not. I think they were actually down 5%. Without it, but
and they're still down console sales.
Yeah,
but
consoles
again,
are plummeting.
Microsoft doesn't care.
Exactly.
They're down what 30% year over year.
I think it's 32.7% was the number I saw.
Gotcha.
Or whatever else.
That sounds about right.
But just to your point, like it's like, hey, like Microsoft saying, Microsoft going, we're gonna launch like the what is it, 5 out of the top 10 or something like that, or 7 of the top 25 games that are on PlayStation
Plus or whatever,
or PlayStation's record or
Microsoft
games. Like, again,
to be fair, again, a lot of this came from the acquisitions,
of course, absolutely, right. But what I'm saying there is, and I'm not saying that we need to just be like, hey, everybody should. I mean, I am saying everybody should play nice, but for God's sake, if you're gonna sit here and trounce on a studio and trounce on a game, especially something like Rebirth, who it reviewed very, very well. It has its bugs, right? Or has its issues that some people don't like, i.e. kind of what we've talked about. But all in all, like, it really is kind of a loved game. It reviewed well. And then you're just like, it did not perform well. And I'm like, well, son of a bitch, you kind of got it out there with one leg. Like, you're asking it to run a race.
They said the same thing about Final Fantasy 16, and it's the exact same reason why it didn't perform well.
Right. But like, so I don't know. So then you're part of this whole thing with like Square and whatever else, and like Take-Two is, you're shuttering these companies, you're closing down stuff, you're ruining people's lives, you're canceling games. Not all games are going to be great, but you're canceling games left and right. And it's just kind of like, how about somebody somewhere takes a step back and goes, hey, how about we be like smart with our business? And maybe this is Square kind of doing that. Maybe it's Square going, you know what, we're going to, like Enigma said, we're going to be a little bit more, better about what we're putting out there. But then I do have that same fear because look at what we're getting over and over. We're about to get Call of Duty Black Ops, right? We're about to get another fucking reboot or re-old game. We've gotten,
That's the only thing that I would be worried about is, again, like I said, they're just going to, are they going to just slip back into, like Bill said, just mediocrity and the same thing over and over and over again, Yeah. They're just going to turn into another Bethesda where they just release the same game year after year after year, essentially.
I just
with a bit more polish to the turd that they just released.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's, I don't know. This is just frustrating and annoying. And then I don't know whether to be pissed off or happy about this one, but like Bethesda and Todd Howard, like, did you guys see his comments that he wanted to come out and talk about like the whole influx?
Yeah.
Like,
seen this.
No offense, but I heard that and I just wanted to walk up like that. I'll because of my job, I'm going to withhold my tongue, but man, dude, I came out of that fucking pissed, dude. Like,
man.
His whole, and what we're talking about, Chad, is basically Bethesda coming out and saying, one, they want to release games at a quicker rate, which what good old Todd was talking about was like, oh, the popularity of Fallout, we need to start launching mobile games. We need to start launching games on like different adaptations on different platforms that are a lot like basically faster to get out. i.e. they want to pump out dog shit. They want to continue to pump out dog
just
shit.
Imagine the quality of those games that are being pumped out because of the quality of the games that they already take years to develop on are being, released.
And they also said they wanted to release Fallout 5 before 2030, which is a wild date to set for that kind of thing.
Because that's still going to be coming after Skyrim 6 or Elder Scrolls 6.
Well, even in that same breath, he's like, we're not as heavily focused on Fallout 5 or the next generation of Fallout because we want to continue Fallout 76. So I'm like, you fucking ass. You're only doing that because the game all of a sudden got popular or whatnot. You didn't give two fucks about that game before.
I wouldn't. Well, hold up. I wouldn't put it past that. I wouldn't put it that way. They've put out a lot of content for Fallout 76 from the time that it released. So I wouldn't say that that's entirely true. That they're pushing out content more specifically for Fallout 76 because it got popular recently. I would say that it's probably a factor for sure. But I will say that they have been putting out enough content for it.
You think Toddy Boy gives two shits about Fallout? You think that he's going, man, you know that game I love so near and dear to my heart is Fallout 76?
I never said that. You're putting words in my mouth. I stated that Fallout 76 has been putting content out. So
and I'm saying that Todd Howard is.
It's not like suddenly 3 weeks ago they were like, oh shit, let's release a bunch of content. I don't know, man.
I'm just saying that it's all of a sudden he's talking about like they're saying like, oh, we're gonna launch a whole new section of the map. 100%. We're gonna be doing all this DLC, and it's like, where did
the new section of the map was already slated for release prior to the show even releasing. So.
I don't know.
So they have been coming out with content for the past 5 years. It's been a very
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you in some instances, but
I'm just hard pressed to believe that they give a fuck about Fallout 76 enough outside of all of a sudden this being a thing. Like again,
well, Fallout 76 is a good moneymaker. They can print money off of it. All they have to do is put out new camp items, and people pay them $40. Like it's the easiest way of them making money rather than having to make an entirely new game. I see where he's coming from. I agree with it? No. But
maybe they should be focusing on like fixing
good games. Making actually good games.
You mean this game? You mean this game over here? This one?
Going into Starfield here.
The game that released and got forgotten about. Apparently.
I guess they're trying. And I've heard very mixed things about this recent update that's coming out here.
You know how they're trying? They're working with Paramount Plus to make or Amazon to make a fucking show that they can pump out that and then be like, oh, people are gonna be really popular about it.
They're making a Starfield show.
I can't say much about this because I actually quite enjoyed Starfield. So that's just me.
Back and forth on it. I had a very love-hate with it, but.
Granted, I will state I haven't played it since, but I put 80 hours into it, so like I enjoyed it. But
I know plenty of people that have enjoyed it. I just know that
I'm also not stating that it wasn't bad. Like it was boring as shit in a lot of cases. But
it was very, very mediocre. It had some good, it had some bad. This update is, and for everybody who doesn't know, this update is supposed to be adding, like updated, FPS to like the Xbox Series 6. They're going to be updating surface maps, 60 FPS
Series S.
for Xbox Series X. I don't know what their Xbox are on now.
Series 6.
Series 6. Okay.
And I guess they're going to be adding some quality of life features. They're just trying to give it. It seems to me they're trying to like overhaul it a little bit to polish it more. Probably to give it what it should have been at launch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck are we talking about giving it some love? You mean they fucking are fixing their shit game that wasn't that?
Yeah, it's what they got to do.
To be fair, it's not a shit game. It's a Bethesda game.
I'm not gonna.
Again, I put 80 hours into it, so like it's. I don't know, man.
Trust me, man. I love Bethesda games, but like the recent Bethesda launches they've come out with have been shit. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just stating the fact that I enjoyed what I had played.
That's
so.
I know a lot of people who have as well. Like that's great, man.
Why are we getting an ad for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? What the fuck is IGN doing?
Who fucking knows, man?
IGN. Can I refresh here?
Did Todd Howard have like some sort of interview or something recently?
He's
Yeah,
going on an
he had-
interview tour with the show.
Okay,
Yeah.
because he also had a statement I wanted to bring up that has to do with Starfield, saying Todd Howard reckons he knows why Starfield was so divisive. It was too different than you've seen from us in the past, and like, it kind of, but not. Like, I feel like what really faltered Starfield was that it wasn't different enough. It was honestly,
Bethesda-y.
it was honestly a Fallout skin of a space game.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
A space
everybody
game,
said it was Fallout Light in space.
yeah, man. Like, and that I think is what really did it in for me. Like, because you had two very differentiating genres of Bethesda games, being, you know, their post-apocalyptic Fallout and their fantasy Skyrim, you know, and Elder Scrolls, and those games side by side were very, very vastly different. But then they went ahead and released Starfield, and it was like, really, to me, it was just like, I'm playing Fallout in space. I could have honestly went and modded Fallout 4 to be Starfield if I really wanted to. Like, I don't know. I think he didn't really nail it on the head there. I think he really doesn't understand Starfield at all.
I don't think he understands his company. I think that Microsoft needs, which he's how much longer do we have for Todd? Todd's
He's got one more release.
I think Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be his last title. He's
got one more release and then he's leaving.
Oh fuck, that'll be another 15 years. Okay, well, never mind. I'll be long gone before Todd Howard's gone, I guess. All right. Well, there you go.
I don't know how you guys feel about it, but yeah, it's just.
No, I think
like I said, I can't comment on it because I'm one of the outliers. I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
I thought it was enjoyable for what it was. I'm not stating that it was super amazing. I'm not stating it was anything that was like groundbreaking for Bethesda. It was 100% just a Fallout with a space theme on it. But like what I played and what I enjoyed, it was good.
Phone in your shit and get the mic away from Todd Howard. He doesn't need to talk to anybody.
Well, I mean, I've always stated that Todd they need to stop letting Todd Howard and Pete Hines talk.
Yeah, I think Starfield would have been better received if Todd Howard hadn't made
for sure
outrageous claims about the scope of the game.
It's the same thing that he did it for Skyrim, like 1,000 times better. It just works, you know. All that other bullshit, all those memes that you have from Todd Howard throughout the years. It's the same shit. If he would just shut his mouth and be a fucking, you know, game lead instead of being a PR lead, you know, we'd be a lot better off, I think. Yeah.
All right. Well, these last two topics we're going to talk about kind of quickly, and then we're going to go into our quick hits, but it is something that I do want to talk about. I hit the wrong button. Well, you guys got a sound. You guys got a sound effect.
The stream did.
Yeah. Oh, they got the news sound effect. Sorry about that.
121 episodes, guys.
I thought I swear we know what we're doing. Oh man. So Marvel Rivals. We've been talking about this game. It's something that I am tentatively excited about. Like, I'm kind of holding my breath, hoping
I
that
have my eye on it.
You have to be very hesitant about this one.
That it's going to be good, but we're supposed to be getting a closed alpha here on the 10th. And I did get access into it, so I don't know if I'll be able to stream it. But at least I'll be able to play it. But
did you request that?
Yeah, you requested access to it. But they did give us some details. I'm going to run through some of the details that we got here. So they are the playable characters that we're going to have. At least the closed alpha characters and features are going to be characters Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Groot, Hela, Hulk, Iron Man, Loki, Luna Snow, Magic, Magneto, Mantis, Namor, Penny Parker, Punisher, Rocket Raccoon, Star-Lord, Storm, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man. The maps are going to be Yggdrasil, Path, the Royal Palace, and I'm butchering these names. Yggdrasil, it's YGGSGARD. Tokyo 2099, and then the game modes are going to be Convoy, Domination, and Convergence, whatever those three may be. So yeah,
Convoy modes are never good.
I don't know. I don't
Escort
mind
the payload.
I don't mind Overwatch.
No, I'm tired of escort modes. They're so overdone now.
But
yeah.
Anyway,
that's actually a pretty wide roster for a alpha test.
Yeah. Well, you also know what I like about it too, about the roster is I think we talked about this when we were talking about the game originally. It's not like you're like, yes, you have your Iron Mans, right? But it's not Captain America and Thor and Hulk, and it's all of like your like Penny Parkers and Luna Snow. Like, I mean, I guarantee you, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Who the fuck is Luna Snow?" Like,
right?
Where are these people
learn.
at? So yeah, so there's that one. And this one, happy Stevens will be happy about this. I am not. But I think we called this one too. Vanguard's going to be a problem, and damn it, it sure is. Vanguard is bricking.
I was there when you realized this. Dude.
Yeah.
Yep, bricking their your PCs because well, it's a it's a kernel-based anti-cheat system, and sure enough, it's causing problems. What's crazy to me is that Vanguard's been out for how long now? I mean, Valorant's been around for a couple years.
Long time. Yeah.
Having this issue with all both versions of Vanguard, or is it just the League version?
I think
it's just a League version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah. There's a tweet out there that says you can delete your System32 directory and that'll fix it.
Oh boy.
So, I don't think I think I'm gonna uninstall League until I know that this is fixed because I don't want because just as an FYI, the Riot client will load in the background and just sit there and run unless you go in and permanently shut it down. And you have to have another system like Revo uninstaller to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna uninstall right now.
Stevens is partying right now, dude. He's over there like, yeah, baby.
He's so happy. So yep, I am getting rid of League until that shit's fixed. But yeah, so all right. Well, that wraps up all of the main gaming news. You know what? I will stand corrected. I put my foot in my mouth because I looked at it and no. I was right. I'm sorry. You or Struffy was like, there's not that much news. I feel like we've had that much news before. Bro,
dude, do you know how long we spent on the games of this topic?
Yeah, dude, you know how long you spent on fucking both of your games?
Yeah, we went till 11:40 for the games.
Oh, fuck off.
No,
it's not my fault.
Excuse me, 11:50.
I was like 10 minutes on Manor Lords. Bill was like 10, 15 minutes on his, and you spent the remainder of the first hour fucking talking about
Play more games. I don't know what you want. Shut up.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So quick hit news, which are news articles that, again, are good, but we don't have time or don't want to or need to spend a exorbitant amount talking about. V Rising is fully launching to 1.0. Actually, pretty dope. They are launching with a Castlevania themed pack and a Dracula theme kind of thing. I recommend going and taking a look at the trailer. It actually looks really, really dope. Unity appointed the former EA and Zynga exec as CEO.
Bazinga.
Bazinga.
Again.
Let's see where it was.
Isn't Zynga the one that was making that Star Wars game?
Yeah. So
there you go.
Alan Wake 2 is not profitable. So that's
interesting.
That's interesting. Wait, how? That game was huge.
I thought Alan Wake 2 did really well.
The budget on it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was extremely high. Very, very, very high. Like
who made Alan Wake 2? Who was that?
I don't know. I'd have to go and look. Hold on one sec.
Is
same people that made Alan Wake 1? I don't know. Alan Wake
2 is made by Epic.
Remedy.
Epic was published. Remedy was Remedy was the maker.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just used the same tab that our news articles are on. Hold on.
Yay, good job.
All right.
Screwed them up.
Game of Thrones MMO is coming. I'm a fan of MMO, but okay, I'm gonna look at this. We may talk about this next week because I need to see more about this and see if this is some shitty Eastern based MMO or is actually gonna be a decent MMO. Stellar Blade hit #1 in the UK. X Defiant finally got a release date. Whoop, whoop. If it hits it, X Defiant release. Let's see when it's releasing. When is this
21st?
May 21st. 14 maps, 5 game modes, 24 weapons, 44 attachments at launch. Do we think over under?
Awesome.
You think it's gonna happen? You think it's gonna come out? Or you think it's gonna get pushed?
I think it'll come out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
it's got to come out now. I think it'll come out.
Okay.
I've said that from the get go. I think it'll come out. Will it do well?
I just hope it's not another Hyperscape, which I think it has the potential.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be.
Hyperscape.
Yeah.
I think it's going to do very well for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then we'll see from there.
I had fun with it. I hope it stays.
I want it to be.
No,
good.
I hope so too, man. I hope it is a good, competent shooter.
Plus
So do I.
it's free to play,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. more
I hope it's good for you guys that are wanting to play it, because you've been waiting for a while.
And then Smite 2 has its closed alpha this weekend. Bill, you excited about it?
Yeah, I'm excited to see the changes. I've actually looked through the patch notes for that alpha, and there's a lot of sweeping changes that they're doing. They're reworking some god kits. They kind of more in-depth explained how the open building system is going to work with power scaling of abilities and stuff. So it's gonna be nifty to see.
Apparently, Smite 2 alpha started today, not
Oh,
next
started
week.
today. Oh,
yeah.
Well, it's the weekend.
Are they have they gone back on the whole skin thing, or is they still staying pretty firm with that?
That's the way that they're going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the gems and stuff.
That sucks, but understandable.
Yep.
I mean, not
an
really,
animated Kingdom Hearts film is reportedly in the works.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. And
Sin's looking forward to that. We know.
Well, I'm a little hesitant on that because we did get a little bit more information from what I saw. It's going to be CGI/animation, so I think it's going to be something like that one Final Fantasy film. What was it? The children.
Advent Children.
Advent Children.
Yeah.
So I mean, but still, I actually watched that, and being even not a Final Fantasy fan, I enjoyed it. So I
Advent Children was really good.
It actually was pretty solid. So I hope it's something along those lines.
And then I have a question. Is this, because you have in here that Fallout 4's most popular mods are now ones that remove Bethesda's disaster section. So the most popular mods for Fallout are ones that roll back.
Yeah.
Roll back their recent update. Yeah.
Next gen update. Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, man. You know, it's always just modders fixing their shit. And
God almighty.
Standard Bethesda shit, man.
Fucking wild. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, guys, episode 121. We gave you 7 extra minutes of pre-patch podcast. Don't worry.
121.
We're gonna add that to your bill. So just when you guys look at that and see the extra charge, don't worry about it.
We're just gonna add, just a little bit of an extra tip incentive. So
right. At the very end of this, you're gonna see it. Yeah. Here's the tip. All the tip. The whole tip. Nothing but the tip. All right. Well, it is done. Episode 121 is in the books. I want to get out of here because I want to play more Gray Zone. But y'all have a wonderful weekend. Actually, before we go, are we good? We can announce. I kind of talked about it on the stream yesterday, but you guys are cool with us announcing about the now streaming on the channel. Can we?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
go for it.
you guys are gonna now start seeing more of us if you so choose. Myself, Enigma if he streams, Scruffy, Bill, all of us will be putting content onto the pre-patch YouTube channel. For most of us is gonna be live streams, or co-streaming, so you can get us on our Twitch channels, but also on our pre-patch channel. So if you want to see more of myself or Enigma or Bill or Scruffy during the week, we'll be streaming right here on the pre-patch channel. So super excited to announce that. And I think it's going to be really, really cool. So definitely come out, support everybody, engage with us, ask questions. You'll be able to see some of the games that we are playing and we're talking about during the show beforehand and kind of get some of our opinions there. So it's just kind of extra content for you. Super excited to kind of start doing that. So be on the lookout for all of the new streams. We'll each have our own section, so you guys can check out the VODs if you are more of a Scruffy fan or a Bill fan. Nobody likes me except just to come and piss me off, so I understand that. But yeah.
Which one of us is the skinny hater again?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Still.
I think it's me, but I'm
maybe
not
that person will show up.
That's gonna be Scruffy's. That's gonna be Scruffy's playlist name is Skinny Hater.
Skinny Hater.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful night. Make sure you go check out all the VODs. Go check out all of the things on Spotify or your favorite podcasting app. Go to anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. Always stay beautiful. Have a fun and amazing weekend, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Deuces.
Wait, that's cool. So that guys start making music with your mouths because the thing doesn't want to work. Yeah, I can't. Okay, cool. That's the end of the show.